Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Imperator Invictus Sogdia series here on the Lore Mass channel, as we are stretching it here, where we're getting very close to the end, but we got one more big war that I have planned. And that'll be against the other big entity. I mean, we fought the Persian kingdom once, and I don't want to fight them again. So instead we turn our gaze eastward to the Indian subcontinent, where one of the big entities, although not as big as they used to, called the Shunga. That's who we plan on fighting against. But as you can see in the world map, Sogdia is big, except with a few little enclaves, which I feel that there's a lot left to be desired, but nothing I can do about that after that, little thing with, that big imperial challenge war against the Persian kingdom, which at first didn't go as well as planned until I made a pretty bold move by taking Harakania here, which split these areas, which, for those who remembered the video from the other time, where all this was Persian Kingdom territory. Well, it's Sogdia now because they broke off in a revolt, and then we took advantage of that, thus leaving this little enclave here, which this loyalty is going to keep going down, and hopefully, well, I don't think it'll occur in time based on how many years of this series we have left, which, as a matter of fact, it's 20 years left before this series ends. Well, this is why I said we plan on fighting one more big war. And then I will spend the remaining post-war years in peace to try to keep the population all over the country as happy as possible, because this adds up to the high score here, because the total scoring pop happiness. The Shunga, we had a back and forth between Sogdia and Shunga for first place, but now we're clearly in first place, and I want to remain so. And just to make damn sure, this is why we have to fight against Shunga, by taking the areas where there's a pretty good population that you'll find here. I'm going to take this for example. For what is? For Maru, this has got a sizable population out there, but they're actually a lot more numerous up there at Mighty Death. That's where you'll find more. So this is why I've been fabricating a bunch of claims as of the previous episode. Basically, we plan on taking all the areas that is largely modern-day Gujarat, and then we plan on taking these parts as well, particularly Stanisvara, Kuru, and may possibly expand into Panchala as well. Anything that is part of the rivers Yamuna and Ganges. But highly doubtful that we would expand all the way to, other noted places like Varanasi or even Patliputra. Because Patliputra especially, that's a home of a metropolis. You see what this has? They got districts, they're on a farmland, that's also a big get. Adjacent to a major river, nearby river, which we're talking about this part here in Astagora. Civilization values way up. They say it's just one of the good places that you find in a city. Look at all this farmland. This is why there's so many Indians, as there still are today. Because, as of this recording, I read the news the other day that India as a whole may overtake China as far as most populous nation in the world. And even in ancient times, Indians are far more numerous than people give them credit for. As far by people, I mean, Western world. Compare that to, out there. at this time. Although I kind of noticed something a bit off about Rome. I mean, yes, it's a metropolis, but they're starving. Why does Ostia have more population than Rome itself? I mean, to be fair, it's still under a dictatorship, is the Roman Kingdom, the great power. I mean, they're fresh off of a big civil war that they had. So, it's like, Rome is a metropolis, but the population limit says otherwise. But this has a far larger population, but now they're dealing with food shortages. I mean, if I were them, I would just store lots and lots of grain. And also, the lands of Britannia may look empty to you, but no, it's populated by this major power here. Even back then, they're fighting against the areas of modern-day France. You know, the old English and French rivalry comes to mind. Again, I've not looked at the other parts of the world, so I decided to look them up. And of course, our formidable foe if we ever try to expand into Scythia. All these feudatories. Never fight a land war against the Sarmatians. That's a piece of advice for you people, if you are interested in doing a playthrough yourself on Imperator Rome Invictus. Never fight a land war against Scythia, especially in the late game. Especially in the late game. And now, let's get down to some business here. As we know, based on our army positions, in preparing for a pretty big war, we're going to start drilling each and every one of you. But the real question is, where is my son? Because I recall I stationed him into one of the armies. Bahuman, yeah, that's you. This is the one. Okay. Consider this temporary because you're going to drill the army. And if you manage to get lower chords with you, good, because that'll actually make you more popular. That's all we need. Everybody must start drilling. I'm giving you 2 or 3 years of drilling, and then we will go to war against Shunga. And here's this other issue. Zhangzhuang, which is an ally to Shunga. I mean, yes, it's a settled tribe, but although they are very low on military tech, which means we could easily beat them in a fight. And I would have loved to make an ally out of them. Well, I mean, we can't make alliances anymore. They're great power, but I could offer you a guarantee, or even any of these, but it's highly unlikely at this point. And also they hold this part here. I never did this option, threatened war, because if you do that, you know how much that's going to cost you? And plus, unwilling. I mean, if you want to intimidate smaller nations like this one, you could, but Can't do that because you haven't cast spell eye. And of course, why on earth would you do that with Virgin Kingdom? You know they're not gonna accept this bit here. What is this area called? They don't say. Which again, you can't do that with bigger nations. Nothing on the smaller entities, and of course, why on earth? And of course, we can, you know, intervene by enforcing peace because we're a great power these days. Subject nations don't get what they do. I'm just looking, alright? We have no quarrel with Pandya. Casa is still our tribal vassal, which provides us manpower. Who are you? Feudatory. Okay. I think we pretty much got it all settled here. And don't forget that we have this navy on standby to engage with the fleet that's stationed over in Kutch, known as today. But you know, that's a disloyal navy because the admiral here, well, he's a tad bit disloyal, but he'll come around. He'll come around because somebody's been trying to start a little conspiracy against us. That old thing. Now, let's let the time tick along while we work on Parthia regarding the growth of it. And of course, this is the last episode to feature Roshan, who is that zealous Zoroastrian queen who made this nation into a Zoroastrian nation. It's starting to get replaced with another, but it's going to take quite a long time to do so. Because Zoroastrianism is now the majority with 38%. Also, I'd like to put down a holy site somewhere. I mean, I wish there were less Hindus and more Zoroastrians, but just look at the pop info. Just converted, and it seems we get an average rate of converting a population. You know how fast is? Seems like 1 or 2 years. So I want to put. Well, actually, this might be a place to do it. Here. What I call building more and more metropolises in other places, including up in Bactra. I said no, god dang it. Because it's going to make everybody else disloyal, start a potential civil war. Which is the last thing that anybody wants. what are we supposed to build here? Another library. That's what it needs once it's finished. Keep very high stability, because once I pass stability, it's going to drop. Because I'm still in very poor health. While I'm trying to figure out where to build a holy site. Despite the fact that I anointed you to be there, but it just one shot. You know, it should be noted that once war is declared and idea. Why don't we just move the slaves around? Might be a little too much, but like move some Zoroastrians in here and then move Hindus out just somewhere. And why not build another building here? Accompany it. Taking in another library. As I said, you know, Hindus out, Zoroastrians in. Now it's majority Hindu, but again, 27, but my goodness. Get more Hindus out. Actually, look at the trade goods of this area. More food's always good, so move a couple of slaves who are Hindus. Regardless of their cultural origin, they must go there. There's your surplus. Okay. But mind you, not all the Hindus are slaves. Some of them are freemen and all that. Keep that well in mind. Okay, now move a couple of Zoroastrians in here. A bunch of those Hindus are actually citizens of freemen rather than slaves, so there are no Hindu slaves in the city of Sibai, but gotta move a couple of Zoroastrians in from wherever they are found. Keep it up until they're the majority. And then I'll build a holy site. There. And yes, I understand there's a bit of a discrepancy regarding the population capacity. and that may cause issues. So that Siba here will be the holy site, which we'll spend additional money on, and as well as nearly all of our political influence. We dedicated to Haravat, which the passive effect will give us a bit more of the unintegrated culture happiness. And if we were to call it on, we can make others happy in general. But since this is a metropolis, that'll bring out even more benefits, you see? Looking at 375. Now put some things in there. Aha! Reduce the local unrest. I mean, yeah, everybody's unhappy in Siba because of that discrepancy. But put it in here. So, there we go. We did that little thing that I've been wanting to do. No need for gold. This is probably the highest stability I've ever seen. So yeah, bringing in those well-fat candles. Our Rose efforts to influence are well underway. In jolly mood, Sun approached Queen Roshan suggested a formal declaration of our loyalty and commitment to the court would be a fine way of showing our appreciation. We remain unconvinced this is a politically sensible move. All that stability we can... Yeah, I'll take that for once. Why not? We just needed some of the influence to be ready for the next rule, as I'm near death, and we will soon have the next ruler take over. Could be our last military tradition. What was I going for? This one. I was going down this way for, you know, better performance of the archers. But a little more light infantry defense, so why not? The Sagaris. The Sagaris was the kind of battle axe or warhammer used by the Saka and Scythian peoples of the Eurasian steppe. So this will add up to the light infantry defense, which of course, light infantry, as far as capability is concerned. Bring up Ganhara. See, they're not really good at damage against anything, but however, unlike all the other units, as far as morale damage taken, actually they take less weight for supply limits as the light infantry. But I recall that light infantry tends to have a higher morale, which means they can last a bit longer in a fight. Alright then. Now we await for the death of our great old queen. And remember, when war starts, all those resources that we traded with the Shunga with is going to be lost to us. And all that. Right. Work on that. The promotion of Uzgoya as the Sogdian has made only attractive to Sogdians, begun to prepare for new life in a growing city then. The hand slaves goes there. Kunda. We'll have another library soon. So we'll definitely have this finished by then. While at the same time we're building a city in Salak. And we gotta build a grand theater. thought of it. Get the levy from Sogdiana. This is to fight against, well, actually, station yourself over here. No, there. So that way we can go through there and deal with Sangzhuang, wherever their settlement is. Where is your capital? This is all mountains. This is the provincial capital, but where's the real capital? Skardu. They're all settlements, no cities. Almost no forts. So we'll get moving. No need to rush here. And that's another issue regarding this future war. Where do we place our armies? I mean, knowing them based on the number of levies, I would assume that the main professional army resides in what's left of Vanti, and they'll bring in levies from Maru and Apararanta. But I believe the more numerically ones that you'll find are of these regions. I would assume most of the levies are going to come from there, and they're going to be easy to deal with. Still very high stability. Who are you assassinating? So your rival? Yes. Don't want to assist you in that. But if I were you, I would stop that right now. Mediation. An argument is fiercely raging sometime now. And the gist of the matter is a sizable colony with each claimant asserting that they're the rightful owner. After many months of fruitless discussion, both parties have agreed to let Queen Roshan decide on the solution. There is a tale of a wise king by the name of Solomon. I'd like to go out with some popularity. He's got a few loyal cohorts, keep it up. And he's gonna have his first child in a couple of months. No means no, you stupid. Again. He was the governor. By the way, is there anybody from that family now? Yeah, there's one. He was actually pretty decent. Put him in an army. Why are you even in the army of Amalia? Put him there, he's pretty decent. Oh good, we can get an honor guard. Thank goodness. How many people did we integrate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get me a Greco-Indian honor guard. Oh, we got a good one here. Ananda is his name. Put him in one of the armies. I think we found our replacement for the army of Sogdia when he passes. Because this is our largest army and the best. In fact, replace him right now. He had quite a service record, but he's about to leave us. And Ananda here, he's brave. So the morale of armies will be up. So we retired that old commander as he's about to die of gout. Pirates ahoy! Messengers sent by Agathokis from Satadru. It's up here. A fleet of pirates has attacked the port, and it does not look like they're going to let up anytime soon. He's asking for aid immediately and put it into all this. Some other advisors at court suggested making more of a permanent change to our laws to make sure this problem will not resurface in a couple of years. An anti-piracy edict. Well, if it makes the citizens more happier. And we never had professional sailors as one of the things, but or use up a bunch of manpower to fight against this. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about too much. So this system needs to be changed to fix this. If more citizens are happy, that means more to the score. Big jump. So, no piracy. It's happened. The recent instability caused by the death of Roshan has created a power vacuum, as of which certain scheming pretenders are all too eager to fill. Emboldened by avarice, they have raised hordes of malcontents, who plot against the throne itself. We must look to the future of our throne and safeguard Sogdia through these perilous times. So, we just had a big drop of stability, which it was 80 something. That's what has happened. Spitamines here, even though he's 70 years old, but pretty healthy, unfortunately. Yeah, that was the biggest drop of stability we've ever had. So, Bahuman II. That's who he is. He's got no finesse, but he's got plenty of charisma. She was the queen. We shall miss her. Man, you have a lot of children. But unfortunately, that healthy bastard's gonna be around. No way I'm gonna pay him all that money. He's very charismatic. That's another issue with that man. I was the commander, so at least you're loyal. Continue drilling for the time being while we figure out what's going on as far as this locate is concerned. Don't assassinate anybody. What's the matter with you? But it is time to hold games. Maybe even more. Maybe once I become more popular, the more they will side with me. Although he is a bit corrupt, but that would go down slowly but surely for the rest of his reign. He's only good at it militarily, while he's got a very supportive spouse, which will give him all this. He's 43. Should go for martial focus. Go, man. Because the last thing that I would need is disloyal generals. But since I got a few lower cohorts, that means I'll be paying them. Plus all that corruption and all that crap. And don't worry about the legitimacy. Focus on getting more influence. And that would mean I'll be leading this levy here. Station in Pishan. I'm gonna be the one to deal with Shangzhuang. Just occupy them, neutralize them out of the war, then I'll come down there and support them. And don't worry about the amount of casualties you'll be taking. You got a lot of manpower. In true Sogdian fashion, our benevolent ruler Bahuman II has ordained that there will be a period of games and festivity. Whilst not commonplace, many of the common folk in court alike are pondering whether Bahuman himself will take it to the sands and prove his brave for all to see. Bring on the challenge. What, Lord Court? You are just a researcher. You ain't gonna do nothing. Raging sun beats down on the competitors, glistening with oil and sweat. Many weeks of events have come and gone, with whispers amok regarding this final event, the javelin hurling tournament. The crowd jeers in jubilation as Bahuman appears, flanked by a detachment of Royal Guard. None dare to question the majesty of such a kind of competition. As all surely expected, Bahuman does away with the competition in characteristic style, with a wreath firmly placed upon his head. The adoring populace of Kuruk, which I believe that's where currently at, no? The chat there approved for the house of Mahanyan. Now, once we arrive here, I'm gonna drill these people a bit before we get a move on, since this is just largely mixed units. Which can be no good to nobody if you're trying to organize a fight, but damn it, something's gotta give. Didn't know you had a civil war. This is what happens when I don't pay attention much. Deception. Okay, can't drill them, but for future reference. Go. Saka is now a city, and never before has the streets of Uzbek been as clean and as guarded as well kept. The brick palaces now make it immediately apparent that this is not just a city, but also the very center of a great power, an urban expression of splendor and wealth. Grand Theater first. Go. Needs a Grand Theater? Then got it. See ya. I'll be willing to spend the food instead of building just in a granary. Now all it needs just is theater, in which I'll get a free province investment. And Parnia, well, good, but this needs a couple more buildings. And what are we missing? Aqueduct, Court of Law, Granary. Get rid of the Forum. Get a granary. Get an aqueduct. Get rid of that library to make room for Court of Law. Trying to get that mission accomplished. Rash. That's gonna be his name, yes. Carmenier's got no food, but what's going on up there? Guess it's overpopulated. Get a farmer's market. Winter can be a bit rough. Nah, go for this. I think we'll give it a couple of months and then we'll be ready for war. I mean, I am ready for war as far as manpower is concerned. What I'm more concerned about is there any room for, you know, members of that, you know, that unruly family of theirs? Yeah, we were tired of the old man. But I'm willing to expand the army just a little bit. There's room for 2 more spearmen, so add that. Go another heavy infantry. Go another archer for Gandhara. Another horse archer for Scythia. We're still expanding our militaries slightly before we will finally engage this war against Shunga. I don't want to waste any more time in case Pandya takes advantage of this again and takes the land that I wanted. But at the moment, Maurya started the war against Pandya, and they are winning. We'll miss you. Served us well. I've noticed that Pandya is 1 military tech level ahead of us. Which can be an issue. Where are they going? Army's on the move, but they're at peace. Recently had a revolt, I guess. That can't be right. You can stop now. Convert the rest since we bought a bunch of other people in here. Cut out the middleman. Lately, rumors focused on increasingly frequent matrimonial tips between King Bahuman and his consort Griara have been circling the palace, creating an atmosphere that's divided a quarter of public business. The darkest of these yarns tell the imminent assassination of the king by the consort's hand, that the Rash is the heir to the throne, and a child of the King Bahuman might succeed the throne immediately under the consort's guidance, thus bypass the king entirely. This breed of gossip needs to give Sogdia pause. She's cruel, selfish, wise, but secure. Oh, I don't know about her. I would say that the Rogue Heartstone is not some lowly schemer. No way. If she is, this would spell trouble and would derail our plans to fight against Shunga. The tension between the king and Liara seems to have abated, and the vile murmurings of treason have disappeared from the stoa of the palace. Perhaps the matter was simply a poor attempt at humor, or indeed a council may have come to her senses. One less thing to worry about. I don't know what that was all about, but it is past now. Just picked up a personality. Never there's been a more stout and simple man as Bowman. He recently stated as long as he possessed 4 walls and a bed, he would never want anything more. So he's self-controlled now, which adds a little bit of zeal. So it's interesting that this is a man who may be an original thinker, but he's content, he's submissive, he's self-controlled. Sounds like he's a laid-back person, one would think. A laid-back person, but he's going to lead an army, and he's going to lead Sogdia into one last great victory. So, I think we've did what we had to do, so all we need to do now is to get the armies into position. Gandhara should be bordered here. Himalaya will be back up because you're the worst of the bunch. Same for Scythia. Bactriana will be this way. They're going to put the positions here while we're sending some of our best, our very best, to the border to cross over into these lands. And you will also provide them backup. Increase the fleet maintenance. I'm going to put them into action. Yeah. Although we will not bring out more levies from all over Sogdia. This is not necessarily new. We're going to rely on our armies for this. And if things get pretty ugly here, then I'm going to have to hire mercenaries. And of course, go up to Gondogoro Pass. That's where I'll be going. And I will be dealing with Sagzong just to knock out their army to prevent them from crossing over here. And after they're fully occupied, then we'll go down to Casa and I will support them up north. So make your dispositions accordingly. No force marching. Just take your time. Don't want any funny business. Give them relief. We got lots of grain. Hell, get them from Egypt. You know that's the granary of the ancient world. That'll solve the food shortage issue. Do the same for sure. Get him from Egypt. A breakthrough. No, no thank you. No need for influence because we're about to be focused on war for the time being. Okay, what can we get out of this? Since we're about to be at war, just throw it in. Scythian saddles. This is just for heavy cavalry discipline, since we got plenty of those, so our heavy cavalry will do much more damage against the enemy now. Not what I had in mind, but it'll have to do. As we stated, we wait for the armies to get to their proper positions, as they are now. Just drill a little bit while everybody still gets to move on. You're already in position, so just drill a bit. Same for you. We'll drill temporarily while they're going to be positioned at the border. So everybody's made their positions. Needs court of law. Won't take long. Once everybody's finished drilling, then we will get a move on. Who dares? Trying to assassinate the governor of... Well, he's got cancer now, so it won't matter where he stays or goes. Drill a bit until he's at Batipura. Once in position, start the war. There's that place, but Kota's the target. So yeah, we found a back door. A back door to Kuru. So we can surround it. That'll provide us support for this. Governor of Mesopotamia he was. And this. Hold that. It's only Legion maintenance cost, so it's not going to really do much as far as benefits is concerned. Go for more conversion. Increase the speed of that while this country will continue to be increasingly Zoroastrian. I'll be sure to call an omen on Hurufatat before this playthrough ends so he could get more population happiness, thus adding more up to the score. Stop bickering, you two. Especially you, Spitaminis. September 1st. Start the war. The treaty with them expires in a year, so Pandya is busy. And Moria appears to be losing, so Pandya is getting on the offensive now. There's no disloyal characters at the moment. Migrant Horde, don't worry about that. So it's just them and this. Up here and ready to be in position to make an attack. Alright. main objective to take, if the offensive goes well, I would say Outer Sostra will be the war goal here. Which means we have to get there, but there is a way to Kutch. There's two ways to enter to Kutch. And then we'll go through there. Again, we gotta take all of this. Their capital is up there, so that would be further up the war score if we were to occupy their capital to give a favorable peace deal. And at the same time, take these two and may possibly expand further eastward along the Gangetic Plain. A few subjects will be with us, including Makkah, a client state from Arabia, which they'll provide their fleets to assist us to deal with the Shunga fleet. So, before we go on the offensive, we gotta take care of these trade goods. So, there goes the grain. Well, game, the dyes, grain, salt, wood, grain, wood, bunch of grain. Well, import the grain from Egypt then. You know where we could get them. We assume that we have good relations with the Egyptians. Just throw them in. What are we missing? Oh yeah. We got no salt. Improve our relations with them. And in time we'll get some salt. But in the meantime, we need wood. But unfortunately there's no place to get wood. Except Egypt. Okay, improve relations with the Ptolemaic Kingdom, also known as Egypt. Just out of habit. What else are we missing? Dyes is good for noble happiness. But you can get that from them. Panavasi, that's owned by Pandya, so we should be alright, I hope. I assume so. Of the things that we need and that we provide ourselves. Archer discipline, of course. Get it from Pandya. Archers is important. All the other ones are just gonna be for later. Okay? Right. Here I go. Take Hastinapura. There's this city there. Again, back door to Guru. Prasta is also another important place. Meanwhile, head to Stanisvara. You're the one with the engineers, that's why we sent you up front first. You support us here, and then right behind you. To take any other place. Meanwhile, it appears there are no forts here, so we should be unopposed. Just take this city, the provincial capital, then all this will be ours. So, head to there, all of you, and we'll be right behind you. We don't know what kind of forces we're dealing with out there. Okay, I'm gonna have to bribe you for this. Need you for this. 1 second. Go. You're the only one that's decent out here. And of course, there's me. Well, crud, there's this one fortress to take. That's part of Savanagotra. So we gotta take this place first. And yeah, and then most of our subjects are gonna come from there, and they're gonna assist us via. Got it. I strive with the authority of Overhaul and showing local society and Pandyas that our state is both powerful and willing to reward those that serve us. We inspired a generation of new men. Persons' ability will now seek out opportunities to serve their country, hoping to win themselves influence. Yes, Dahean commanders, I could see. Because, especially in Bactriana, so. I'll put you there. You're a younger lad. Where's Bactriana? You're one of the armies. You're being replaced by someone a little better. Where else are we missing? Of course, we got this Royal Guard here. Honor Guard, excuse me. What's the skill of the 8? But the man's disloyal, so I can't trust him with that. Skill-wise, he's disciplined. Which I don't know if that matters in the Navy. But he won't like it if I were to take him off command, but I don't give a damn. He's got, you know... Well, he's a bad man, so... I would most certainly replace him with someone more loyal. Because I don't want people to become disloyal immediately. You've been all training for this. Siege begins. Well, we'll begin and move on. No force march. We're moving with caution. Where did they go? Also, we've sighted the levy of Maru. Mostly archers with some war elephants. That's another Indian characteristic. Swarms and swarms of archers while being supported by some war elephants. That is an Indian characteristic. Now, I want you to bear in mind, people, that in the history of me playing Imperator Rome, I've never ever played or ventured into India before. So this is all new to me regarding land familiarity except geographical locations, since I'm so used to Central Asia and the Mediterranean. With to a lesser degree up there when I did the Massalia playthrough long ago. So I have very, well, just say no experience playing this area or conquering this area. Neither in Tibet, as far as my geographical knowledge is concerned. Okay. Remember, their capital is just over on the horizon with no fortress. Son of a beeswax. A defenseless capital. Okay then. Change of plan. Once you take that, head straight for the capital. That would be a big get for the war score and make our job easier. We have to deal with the levy of Maru. While there are professional armies out there somewhere. So we're blockading them, but we have lost sight of the fleet. Where did they go? Do they even have a fleet? Yes, they do, but they're out there somewhere, and they're currently building ships. Maka will provide us a little later some reinforcements, but we built a road for them, so they're going to get here a little faster. Took Hastinapura. But in order to get occupy the whole province, we got to take this. We'll take the farmlands bit by bit. Got to starve them out. Where the hell did they go? Head to the Gulf of Minagara. They gotta be in there. Somewhere. There's their professional army. Small. Mainly archers of light cavalry. Again, it's a very Indian army. Because they are very archer intensive. And I say this because I know their ways of war. Because we adopted some of them. So yes, they're into heavy infantry, but look up here. Archers, 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 archers. They're into that. It's an Indian kingdom characteristic. It's like, yes, we're Sogdians, and we tend to fight like Scythians, and even fight like Indians as well. So I know their ways of war. I know how they function. We're defeated. Oh crud, we ran into them. We were caught off guard. Man, our troops got killed. I mean, our commander was better, but clearly they just brought in a bunch of archers. This is the larger population here. Madhyadesa. I expected them to have a larger number of troops. That's why I sent a large amount of armies over there. We killed a bunch of archers and a few of their war elephants, but this is going to take a combined effort for this. So they took it back. We are retreating back to Sogdia. I may have picked the wrong tactic for this since we did not pay attention for that. This is probably a bad idea to be up here. What's that? Spire Mubak. Guess they built that themselves. They've hired mercenaries. This complicates things. Bringing mercenaries, I'm going to send them up the mountain. They may force me off of there. They're going to Hastinapura, so they're going to be on the offensive towards here. While we'll be taking this place. We'll have this occupied soon, but we got to deal with this army. And it's likely that many more are going to follow. Although, likely in smaller numbers, but this is a large one. Because this is the most populous. So, crud. Go support them. We'll be close to soon. We're going to have to deal with that army. Levy first before we get any further. As we stated before, this is going to take a team effort with this. I do know that on this front here, we'll call it the Maru front. On the Maru front, this is they're less numerical of the enemy armies we deal with by assumption. While the Madhyadesa front is going to be a lot more numerous. Okay. And this is more of a a sideshow, but might become vital in a later period. That's the second levy of my vessel. Okay, they split. I know you can split levies, but I don't really do that. Have we found it? Where are they? There's no way that they could sail all the way around and head to Patliputra or even in Varendra. Is that where they're stationed at? If so, withdraw the port and then come back out and blockade Kaj. So we've occupied this area. There's the levy of Avanti. So we took that area. Make a dash for it. Take their capital. Take their capital without any trouble. We'll be right behind you. Come on, fall. They're going to be crossing that bridge. Boy, you boys got pretty badly knocked up here, so reorganize yourself. Reinforce faster. There's a bit of a setback that we didn't see coming. You've earned it, because you're force marching, because I ordered you so. There you are. Just only putting you there simply for the sake of it. And Bactrian will support you soon once it gets reorganized, fully reinforced and everything. So I have a feeling that, well, let's not get hyperbole here on the kind of people we're dealing with. Not as vital as ours, but please, be careful with this. We got to deal with our army first. I'm saying army out of habit, but they're going to here. If they go this way, they're going to get caught in the mountains. But don't force march just yet. I'm waiting for them to go up there, and then we'll catch them up there. While we let Bactriana reorganize themselves. While we take this capital. Whoa there. Oh, stop them. Stop them from crossing over there. Block their path. I mean, they're not up there yet, but we're going to prevent them from crossing there. Crud, I'm going to need to split the fleet here. But we'll be supported by the Makan army sooner or later. In fact, that's what we're going to do. Stop. Split in half. Block here. And head to here. Oh, not you. You'll do. Wish I had more ships, because there's this third path. It's like, okay, we'll prevent them from taking the occupied areas, but God, if we could just contain them, and it cuts itself. If we contain them there, they can't go anywhere, and they'll be forced to fight at sea. only 3 sea zones. But no, 4. Damn. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we split again. Yes. This is a risky move. Fourth Navy goes up there. But this might be a bad idea in and itself. We're going to need you to make an effort. Start building a bunch of these ships. They don't have any medium ships, keep that well in mind, so. I'm putting you boys to work. Build a bunch of ships we can for the occupation of surrounding countries. It's not really an occupation, but it's going to take years to build. And don't forget about those from up there. It's kind of too bad we don't have a dry dock, but do what you gotta do. Just build more ships and send them out so we can block all these armies from leaving the island. So that way there can be little interference from them. And this also may draw the Shunga fleet to us. It's a very risky move. Never done something like that before, where we blockade an entire island to prevent enemy troops from leaving. Oh, hell. There they are. And here we are, we're nowhere near getting into this siege done. And I don't know about you guys, but it may not be enough. So these guys are going to be trouble. Where are you going? Just as I predicted. Hold. Hold. Oh, they found out. They knew what they were doing. Force march. Go catch them. They knew what I was up to. We'll get him here. I'll continue to rebuild your strength. I said go over there, because they're going to be heading this way now since we blocked them off. While we're trying to build more ships in order to support the blockade of Kutch. That's going to be our role. We're not hunting for an enemy fleet, which was my original intention. Now it's to block the island so they don't enter into Sogdia, where we're going to be heading to now. Now that we took the capital this early in the war. This is inner Sogdia, which has... no known fortresses to speak of, so this will be another easy get for us. Head to there. And on this way. That's the only fortress there. And down there, especially in the holy Hindu city of Dwarka, founded by Krishna long ago. No fortress to speak of, so inland is a bit more defenseless, but that island's fortified. There are settlements, but no cities. We got you surrounded. All we need to do now is to build more ships to support the blockade. Any way you can. Build, 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 build. Build, 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 build. Although I may reduce the number as time goes on. Every ship that's built is to be sent to the blockading forces. And also may become our new transport fleet for down there, since we're going to build so many of these things. 5 each. Although I can't guarantee if all of them will be built. I may stop the building process when the war is over. It's pretty mad thinking. We could stop at this. I think that's enough. We don't need to build any more ships from these parts here, since this is going to be land focused from then on out. Okay. Come on, you're holding up the war. That's what happened. They were using bottleneck. Which, if I remember correctly, what's your... You are 8, the Gedrosian. And here comes number 10. Skirmishing, use skirmishing. Everybody's into skirmishing, good. I mean, cavalry skirmish works. But we're sending a bunch of horses in. No need to be corrupt here. We mauled most of them, but you know, we went into the mountains, which wasn't neutral to us because that's not a fortress area. So we should begin to make our way over here now. Although most of our cavalry was there and they took a bit of a beating. So we should get our siege engineers to begin the siege of Rotak while we distribute the other forces out there while they continue to reorganize. So get a move on here. I'm just wondering, is it really working? I mean, they're not crossing here. An outrageous display of brazen ineptitude. Yep, I see him to challenge the ownership of a holding belonged to Bahuman this afternoon. With only set of blatantly forged documents back up his claim. Proceedings do not last long. Should we press for recompense? This land belonged to us for many generations. Also forgot to complete this mission. Stabilize and grow Scythia. I'm sure I already did much of that. Yes, that. Kame is not a capital. Belva. 1 second. Well, we can't do that right now, but what we can do is nothing. commercial district. Okay. How many you say? 2? 2. Right. That makes 2 prominent investments. This area. Gorgo needs 2 granary buildings. Well, there's one we can provide. We could take this down and build another. And then there you have it, a little mission complete for Granary Scythia. And Bella, that's the little city that I never really gave a damn about. It needs a library and a commercial district. Give it to these. Library and commercial district, correct? Correct. And after that, commercial district or another library. Move a few pops around, then you'll build another building. Okay. So it seems it's confirmed that we indeed have cut them off and thinking that they're gonna, attack us from there, but oh no. We're gonna be a blockading force. We're gonna keep you contained in there till all of Southestra's taken, and then we'll find a way to come in and take care of the rest. And may take this area, though we have no claims to it, but probably for measure. It's this area that I'm more stressed about. Uh-oh, they're coming. They're gonna kick my ass up here. They got a very good commander. Get out of here. They scared me off. Just need to be with the others. I don't suppose you can give us access, would you? Good. Maybe we could just bypass and get down here and join with the others. That's the other alternative. So, just in case, if we need a escape route to get away from these people. They were up there, but they have no indication to actually go over there, so they can't leave. This one got away. I'll let you have the honor to deal with him. They're heading to Urai, into the forest, so go get him, Tiger. Beginning our siege here, but we'll soon distribute the forces to other areas while they continue to reorganize. Inner South's just taken. But I believe that we should begin to take Siege's place. We have the engineers. And we do have better siege capabilities these days, so let's take this area while you will have the honor to fight against that army, and then take outer Southestra. And thus our main objective of the war is complete. While the northern front is going to be more bloody, in which I would try to take as much land as humanly possible that relates to the farmlands of the Gangetic Plain. We're going to engage him, so we'll likely win this one. While we keep him contained. Okay. Don't force march now. Let him recover. Just let him, well, head to here. Where's the other? On the Ganhara. You're the one that's gonna siege Army of Himalaya. You back them up. Watch their back. Just continue to organize while we will be here to support the rest of you. Meanwhile, be careful with these archers. You know what they'll do to you? Plus, we're fighting in their land. And they got a bit of a higher discipline than we gave them credit for. Clearly, they're battle-hardened folks. They're coming over. Fought at the Battle of Indraprastha, where I told them to specifically head to there, and we have defeated the levies. All of their archers gone. Yep. That's the guy. He was the one that gave Bactrian a hard time. But the question is, where did our elephants go? So we took care of that problem now. Well, we'll work on this siege. While we will occupy all this coast, forcing them out. For a moment I thought they were going to cross, which is what I originally feared, but there you are. But I don't know, once you get to Sura, we're going to cooperate with this, alright? When you come in, we'll come in. They really gonna take that straight crossing? They gotta be suicidal or something like that. No, they're not. I have a bad feeling that they're all gonna group up together and they're coming. Our side might lose. Get over here. They're trying to get over here. They're sending this many cohorts. We're trying to block them. I think it's the number of ships. Like if there's less numbers, they can still get across. And that is a big issue. Oh, they're throwing their lot against us. Get out of there. You don't have the kind of morale. Yeah, we gave them an open door now. Damn it! Because I'm just curious curious about how do we stop this flow of troops that's moving in like this. Withdraw, fall back. We just gave them the door. In the meantime, move back. Stop here. Try to block him again. We're running scared now. No sign of enemy forces while we will continue to besiege this area. But look at their fort defense. I mean, this is the first time, well, not necessarily, I mean, we took this before, but this is a fortress which apparently they have borderlands here. Yes, it's one thing. Entrenchment, fortified camps, vaulted dome. We don't have those kind of fort defenses like this before. They're defensive intensive. This is the kind of enemy we're dealing with here. So again, once this falls, it's open season from there. Because this would be our next target. Down in Kubja. Because there's no fortresses to speak of. And then you head further over there, no fortress. No fortress. And obviously, Patliputra would be heavily fortified. Just don't want to overburden ourselves. This is all good farmland that we can definitely supply our troops with this. While down here, they're a bit more than we give them credit for, and most of their generals are highly skilled. Highly skilled. So we try to contain most of it, but it's not to be. Second Legion of Sogdia, and of course it's the elephants. Always with the damn elephants. Stop force march so you can get your morale up. Head to here. All ships must head to the southern part of the Gulf of Kutch. Once they all arrive, you will merge in with the navies down here. Hostile siege, Sachi. Ah, mercenaries. Up in the hills. Go get them. Although it would be a bad idea because mercenary captain, I'm just a simple man with decent martial skill. Well, decent's not the kind of standard you would say. But I fear that I may have to hire my own mercenaries around here. Come on, walk with me here. Where are we at this point? Because you're definitely not going to get your muscle skill up until you go this way. Not with that kind of line of work. ahead and do that again when this is finished. Right, all this area should fall, I believe, unless there's another fortress that I didn't see. No, all of this should fall. Alright, let's go help them. Let's go deal with that problem of yours. Because it appears that we are not stemming the flow of troops there. The blockade is becoming a bit of a failure here. For once, give me the money. Because we might need it for mercenaries. And to tell Bactriana to stop reorganizing. You're good enough. Oh, they stopped now, so they're good. Be on guard. Actually, no, help them so we can get this down faster together. Because I did not realize this is a level 3 fort. No wonder why it's taking so damn long. I misread that part. Let's get him. Jala is the place. Heading to Russia, which is all plains, which is good. We got an energetic man who's gouty. This is the gouty man. He's healthy, so he's going to be around during this time of war. This has got to be their best. So they must be dealt with swiftly. Because their movement is locked. So this is, get your running sandals on. Because we're going in after. They're splitting away. Which means we'll be engaging the levy of Maru. They got many archer, which they'll most definitely mow us down, but we're going to remain stubborn and we're going to charge at them. If our tactic is correct. Yes, I know there's so many damn ships for me to take care of, but I can't watch over everything, you know. But I've come to the realization that this idea of surrounding the island via blockade may be a failure, and I may have to stop the production of ships immediately. Just to show that my original idea didn't work as originally intended. But we'll discontinue production, which I believe, you know, that's kind of enough ships. In this case, all the remaining ones merge in with this one. Just to get everybody here. That includes you lot up here. I will discontinue the production of ships immediately. Where is it? So I can right click them all. Oh, you can only click once. God dang it. 1, 2. There's got to be a better way with this. Oh, just go to the places themselves and just continue that from there. We'll end this episode soon, so unfortunately this war will continue into the next episode. Because, I mean, we spent a great deal of time preparing it, but the first half of the war didn't exactly go what I would originally hoped. I mean, I was well aware of the threat of war elephants and many archers that the Indians would bring, because that's the Indian way of fighting a war. And the idea of surrounding Kutch with many ships was a good idea in theory, but we couldn't stop the flow of it because I believe there weren't enough ships to blockade with. So they just openly moved down this way. So let's fight this one battle here, and then we'll end the episode. Present. Wrong move. Shock action doesn't beat bottleneck. We have a higher discipline around here. This is Sogdiana you're fighting. The best army in the world. My goodness. He was healthy the last time I checked. He was killed in action. We've killed quite possibly the best commander of the Koru front. Huh. Wow. Kill confirmed. We actually killed one of the commanders, which is a pretty rare thing to happen. Oh no, this is definitely a bad move. Yes, they have a stronger army, because the mercenaries are stronger than them. All that, so please rethink this. We gotta get rid of these people. Which is why I believe that we should get mercenaries. Because Sangzong is gonna become a problem with us here. All the other ships will be on their way down. So, I believe Persis should have an easier time dealing with the rest. If I were you, head to Doraka, take on anybody who's in your way. While for us, Sogdiana, we gotta go deal with that little remnant down here. Yes, this way. We'll deal with the remnant. You're coming with me too with your elephants. And once we have them taken out, then we'll be in line to get rid of the remaining forces that are stuck in Kutch. While meanwhile, in the next episode, Rohtak will soon fall, which was the most heavily fortified area of the entire Madhya front. But obviously there's going to be a bit more out there, wherever their elephants went, but we took out a bunch of their archers. But we need to take possibly this fortress, take that area as well, but the path towards Patliputra is open season at this point. I would like to end the war by the capture of Patliputra and the rest of Magad. And Sangzong, well, that's another problem that we have to deal with, which may require the hiring of mercenaries. Mercenaries that have a very good commander. And that's the problem. Where do you find them? Unless you want to use numerical superiority against them. And I think we found just the man. I have the money, but maintenance is going to be an issue. And of course, the Maka forces will be supporting us, but I fear that they're going to go to Kutch prematurely once we deal with this mess. So the war will continue in the next episode. So, this is just something to watch out for. It's 42 BCE. Then, I think here's what we're gonna do here. The next episode will be the rest of this war. And then we'll have the final episode, which will be peacetime here. So this will be the last 3 episodes, as this is third to last. The next one's going to be second to last, and then the finale. So we hope you people have enjoyed this episode, as there's a lot more bloodletting to come. And until then, so long for now.